Watcha, folks. How are you doing? Welcome to Cats and Conspiracies. Why do I call it Cats and Conspiracies? Well, I love cats and conspiracies. Check it out. Look, if you can see that, I've got a nice little. I was just fostering a little kitten. Check that's what he left me with. Not because he doesn't like me. Well, that's what I believe anyway. No, I think he loved me a lot. I looked after him for a few weeks, about 3 weeks. Gorgeous little kitten, and yeah, it's difficult, man. I had to let him go. I had to let him go to his new owner, which was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be to let him go. And he very much wasn't too happy to get in the carrier when the new owner turned up. And yeah, he left me with a little permanent reminder, which is fine. I'm more than happy to accept a little scratch from him because he was such a babe. Anyway, guess what? Brace yourselves. I've only found a little hidden gem for you. I know that I do like a rant. That can certainly be said. I absolutely love a rant, but I just discovered this one the other day. The Neighbour, it's called. Never heard of it, never seen anything about it, never seen anybody talking about it at all. Completely hidden. It's on Prime at the minute, streaming. If you've got Prime, you can watch it on there. And I had a pretty good time with this film. I was pleasantly surprised. I kind of thought it was going to be another drugs bust gone wrong or something like that, but it does a little bit of a Tarantino and it does a little bit of a flip. Let me let me show you. Let me just hide him for a second and let me just move myself. Let me show you a little bit of this. I've just got the. I'm not going to show you all the trailer. I just wanted you to get a little bit of a feel for it. Okay, I love the setting, middle of nowhere. Oh, I'm a bit big there. Let me just move myself a bit smaller. There we go. That's me. Um, yeah, I don't want to show you too much of this trailer because I don't want to give any spoilers away, really. The trailer does a fairly good job of keeping things quite hidden. Um,
Hey, neighbor. Brought over a couple
but I don't
of
want to say too much. It's better to go in blind. So
How you doing?
these are our protagonists. This couple here. Um, and I think they're trying to get out of like there's a bit of a drug thing going on, and they're trying to get out of it. And they're debating like double crossing their boss sort of thing, and he's like, seriously, don't do that. That's not a good idea. And they're planning on getting out of Dodge, making a few bucks, and getting out there. And initially, it's kind of difficult to know whether you're rooting for these guys or these guys are bad guys or whatever they are. But it does actually, it gets revealed pretty quickly that these guys have actually got heart. All right, they're probably mixed up in something they don't really want to be mixed up in. They want to get out there and live their lives. And that's kind of where we're brought in. Um, we're brought in to see that these guys are trying to get out of the life that they've got. And I think it does a really good job of actually setting up the characters, but not setting them up too much where you're like, am I supposed to? When I was watching this, I was like, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be rooting for this guy or not. Because there's a scene quite early on where he gets pulled over by this cop and she's just like really giving him a hard time. And she's saying, you are scum. You work for this guy. You're scum of the earth. And she's really giving him a hard time. It's like, I don't know where this is going. And as you just saw in that clip there, they get a visit from their initially creepy neighbor. And it's one of those situations where you're just like, straight away, this guy's weird. Okay. It's in the real world. I'd like to think that the second I saw this guy, I would just stay as far away from him from possible. And if he come around my house saying, "Oh yeah, just got a couple of cold ones, want to come on in," they've never even met the guy before properly, I would be somewhat cautious. And in a country where, you know, it's legal to have guns, I would at least have one tucked into the back of my jeans while this guy was hanging around. That's for sure. And he does just enough to be a little bit unsettling, but not quite enough to make it really obvious that he may be up to no good. I'll show you a little bit more. I won't go too crazy. So, yeah, this is a creepy neighbor.
Last hour or so, did you? Pretty girls. Break your heart every time.
And he just like, I don't know what it is about these films, but I think it's part of maybe this works better. in England. Not worked better, but I think our politeness is our downfall sometimes. And instead of just being like, get out there, I don't want you in my house, we're too frightened. We're too frightened to upset people, and that kind of lets us override our instincts to remain safe and to not let these freaks into our house. I can remember another film. Damn it. I think I may have put a video out on it where very similar thing. This couple seemed like a really, kind of nice couple, nice normal couple, are struggling to get over a deceased child, which obviously is horrendous. And this other couple come around, and they almost just barge their way into the house, and they're like, "Yeah, we'll come around tonight." It's like, that's not normal behavior. Who does that? And he's like, "Yeah, they're coming around tonight for dinner." And she's like, "I don't want this." And then they come around, and the guy just keeps pushing and pushing and pushing his level of how he can make them feel uncomfortable. And he works mostly on the woman in the relationship, while his girlfriend, kind of isolates the guy. And this guy they just keep asking these really intimate questions about like the death of their child. And the guy is like getting in her kitchen, he's helping her chop food up, he even puts on the husband's glasses. And it's like, this is just getting so uncomfortable. And it's our politeness that stops us from going, just get out of my house, I never want to see you again. Come back here again, there's going to be trouble. And we don't do it. And it leads to our downfall. Right, I'm going to stop it there because I don't want to show you too much. I think this is a film that is really going to benefit you, as it did me, going in blind, fairly blind. I know I've given you a little bit of an insight into what happens there, but I certainly did not see coming what happens in this. And it's so strange. Here we go. He goes into rant mode. How terrible Hollywood and mainstream films have become now, that you feel nothing, absolutely nothing when you watch them. So I say it's like McDonald's. No one really loves McDonald's. No one really hates McDonald's. It's just food that kind of gets rid of that hungry feeling. But you're hungry 10 minutes later. It's not satisfying, is what I'm saying. And that's kind of what's happened with modern cinema. There's no satisfaction, there's no rooting for characters, there's no connection to characters. And in this film, I was watching it, and suddenly I found myself getting a little bit tense. I was starting to root for these characters. And then it started to get my full attention. And it was so strange how noticeable that is, because it's so rare that a film comes along where you actually begin to get yourself engage with these characters and they feel real and you care about them. And that is what I want from films. This whole just turn your brain off and enjoy it. How can I do that? I need my brain. My brain is what's being stimulated. It's my brain being stimulated, sending all these signals and chemicals through my body, making me feel certain ways. If I switch my brain off, I'm not going to feel anything. So yeah, people can kiss my ass that say switch your brain off. Not going to happen. I enjoyed this. Okay. Is it a masterpiece? No, it is far from a masterpiece, as most things are. This is enjoyable. All right. And I think you'll get some entertainment out of this. And I think you will find yourself getting a little bit invested with these characters. And there was a couple of points where I was like, oh God, no, I think I know how this is going to end. I don't want it to end this way. And I'm not going to say whether it did or it didn't. But I was really like, I want these guys to do well. I want these guys to be okay. And I want them to get out of this situation that's suddenly, crazily unfolding out of nowhere. So there you go, guys. The Neighbour. Check it out. I say it's on Prime. I didn't really recognize anybody in this, actually. I really didn't. Nobody jumped out at me that I'd seen from anything else. I didn't go looking into it to see who they were. But they all, I've got to say, they all did a pretty good job. Yeah, quite enjoyable, guys. So go and check out The Neighbour. And you can thank me later for finding you a little hidden gem amongst the dross, amongst the slop that's out there. But that's the way it is, guys. You've got to dig through a lot of dirt to find diamonds. And that goes for everything. Relationships, life, jobs, careers, everything. Okay? Got to dig through a lot of dirt to find diamonds or gold. But yeah, I enjoyed this. Go and check it out. And of course, if you enjoy my ramblings and my rants, give me the attention I need. Hit the subscribe button. Drop me some comments down below, because what I want to know is like what you think about these films, and have you got any suggestions of things that I should check out that are hidden out there amongst the millions of small players that are making these films rather than the big guys. And I'll check them out and let you know what I think. So until next time, guys, thanks for watching. Enjoy this if you watch it, and be sure to come back and let me know what you think. See you soon, guys.